Holy cow, it's working. I can't believe it. It's working. I've been trying to get things improved in my radio room, and I've added another camera, which I had upstairs, and this is an old camera. It's kind of lower quality. I don't know how good the resolution is going to be, but I got it working, and I think if I'm doing a hangout, I think I can switch between cameras while doing a the hangout. Well, this may not be a good idea. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to go up here on the settings, and I'm going to change cameras. And now it should be porting to my desktop. Oh, I forgot to set up my, oh gosh. Okay, I forgot to set up my laptop. Okay, stand by. Yeah, this may take a while. I use my laptop to monitor the chat room because this computer that I'm using right now, it's why did that come up? It's probably working pretty hard trying to run the webcam software and run the Chrome software that's running YouTube Hangouts. So there's no way I can monitor the chat room on this computer. So I have to monitor it on my, which, now let's see if I can switch back. And I was thinking maybe if somebody would view, they could give me some feedback of what they're seeing. But that's okay. We're going back to me, and we're going to save. Okay, we're back to me. Nope, why does that pop up? Every time I do a change, the webcam software pops up. Now, what I'm seeing on my screen on YouTube is I'm seeing delays. I'm seeing the voices like out of sync. And this is what I was feared of because of this old computer just being not good enough to do what I'm trying to do right here. Okay, so the laptop has come up. Bear with me while I try to get it set up to monitor my broadcast. This was an unannounced broadcast. I just thought I'd try something this morning. So don't expect any reviews or anything like that, anything important. Just me experimenting. Okay, come on. I still haven't got my lighting right. I got, as you see, there's kind of a shadow over here and bright over here. And for some reason, my fluorescent light up there, which has brand new bulbs, it decided it didn't want to work. And then my spotlight, it decided to blow the bulb out. So kind of short on some lights here. Okay, now let's go to YouTube. I got to make some notes here. I don't always remember how to do this. And then I'll go to my channel. My channel. And then I have to view as a returning subscriber to see this transmission. And then it doesn't always work. Ah, there it is, live. Okay, that's what I want. Click on that. Okay, we're there. I've got the chat room up and looking at the back of my head. And it's only about 5-second delay. And let me just type something in the chat room. I got to turn the audio down. There we go. Now I got the audio off. And we've got Christopher. Okay, Christopher, what I'm using is a, let me look it back up. Memory's going. I'm using two Logitech. One is the model C510. That's the one that you're seeing my ugly face on. And the other one, which I'll switch to, is a C920, which 2 to 3 times as much as the 510 one. So let me go back to the chat page. There it's got, oh, it says updates available. Kill that. So we got Christopher. We got Christopher in the chat room. Now the chat room I'm using is the one that's on YouTube. I'm not using a separate chat website. And it's gotten better. It used to be terrible, but it's gotten better. And it appears, I'm just looking at my screen on the computer that's broadcasting, appears that I have some delays. That's kind of information I went back. Do you see any delay between the audio and the video? And now I'm going to switch back to the other camera, which is the 510. Let's save that. Okay, now I'm back on the 510. Now, in this view, you can see my microphone, which is hanging from the ceiling. That's what I'm using for a microphone. I'm kind of far away from it right now. I need to, because I was over there at the laptop. Let me move a little closer without banging my knees. Okay, so we got 8 viewers. I didn't expect any because I was just doing testing. Let me get a drink here. Sorry about that. Okay, and I'll close this down. Now the other thing I can do, that's the beauty of Hangouts on YouTube, is there's several things I can do using their software that I can't do locally because I don't have any software that does a lot of things. Like I don't have any software that does 2 camera inputs and stuff like that. And so one of the things I can do, as I just mentioned, one of the things I can do is I can switch between 2 cameras. The other thing I can do is I can switch to my screen share it's called, and show you a product or something like that. So Hangouts have some definite advantages. I don't know if this computer that I'm using, which is an old Dell Omniplex, I think it says 755 or 785. It's a dual core running Windows 7. I don't know if it's going to hang in there. It works fine if I use single camera, don't do too much switching back and forth, and don't try to monitor the chat room on it, monitor it on the laptop. Okay, we got We got 1205 from Germany. All right, Germany, how you doing out there? Thank you and happy New Year's to you. So, okay, let's see. I got 9 viewers, surprisingly. Can I get some feedback on the video and audio? Is there a delay between the video and the audio? That's one of the reasons, just one of the reasons and not the main reason, I don't have myself on camera, because sometimes I get those delays. Usually don't get them when I'm shooting offline. Sometimes I get them when I'm trying to shoot a hangout on the air live. That's when I get them. So the question is now, when I've got 2 cameras coming in, so to speak, on this camera where you can see my chopper moving, is there a delay? Let me look in the chat room. Andy from England says there's no delay. So that's what I'm concerned about. Also, locally where I'm looking at my screen of me or the cameras, whatever the camera's pointing to, sometimes I'll see it like jump or pause or block out for just like an instant. I don't know if that's going out that way or not. Okay, so it kind of seems to be working. The one thing I don't get, which is I'm surprised, is in this Hangout software of YouTube's, I don't get an indication of how long I've been on. So I have to remember either when I started or use a timer so that I have just some idea how long I've been babbling. Now, the other thing good about using this camera, because my other camera, which is up there, it's pretty well fixed and it's shooting down on my desktop. And I got a comment on one of my recent videos. All I see is your pad and your hands waving. Well, that's true because I didn't have a camera pointing to me. So maybe this, now I'm getting, okay, I see also, and I've got to fix that. Let me see if I can stand by and see if I can fix this. And no, I don't want to fool with that right now. Okay, forget that. Okay. Okay, what I'm is for some reason now I've lost myself. Okay, where'd I go? Hangouts. Okay. I got a pop-up in the corner of the screen from Facebook, and I've got to turn that off because that'll, that appears to be running in background, that's going to slow thing and use CPU resources that I don't have. So I got to, later on, I got to go change the settings so that is not running in background. Matter of fact, I need to check everything that's running in background and make sure I'm getting everything I can turned off so that the software that's running YouTube and the software that's running the webcam gets as much resources as they can. Okay, let me go to work in the chat room. That's why I'm looking that direction. Okay, everybody would say everything looks good. And Driver Film Software, I think is the name, is from England. Let's see, it's 9 o'clock in the morning here in Florida, so 4 or 5 hours. That's just in the afternoon over in England. So, okay. I hope to do more if this software and hardware will hang together. I hope to do more hangouts on the air. Like I say, because it gives me several options that I don't normally have if I'm doing just a local recording, and that's being able to use multiple cameras and be able to switch cameras live, and share the screen in that same vein, in that same sequence. Again, when I'm doing recordings local, I either do screen shares or I do cameras, and I only do one camera. So my options are pretty slim. I've got the mixer working now. I've got cabled, adapters so that I can bring in more than just one radio into the mixer. Plus I got my microphone is working now, I think. And so the mixer's running right now, shall we say. And let me look over at the, excuse me for showing you the back of my head, but I'm looking over at the chat room on the laptop. It's over there. Okay. So we got 13 viewers. Again, I just thought I'd try this and see if it works. I wasn't planning on reviewing anything or anything like that on this particular Hangout, more just me testing. You can see my microphone is moving. Um, so let me go back to my other camera and I'll show you the other problem I need to solve. Let's see if I can switch back. So far, this doesn't seem like it's crashed. Okay, now it's switched back, and it takes me a little while to do the switch, so it's not immediate. So the other problem I'm struggling with is this bright spot caused by the lighting above me. Now, I just noticed that when I'm moving my hands around, there's some chunkiness to the video. Now, I don't know if that's being recorded that way or it's just the fact that what I'm watching is being fed back to me. So the other, another advantage of the new, not new, but the additional webcam is it's not tied down, so I can move it around. Now let me just do that and I'll show you the advantage of that. You switch cameras again. I'm really surprised this old computer is hanging in there. Okay, now I'm back to the C510 webcam, which is lower resolution, has some other features that the 910 doesn't have, that the 910 has. Okay, so I can grab that camera now. This could be embarrassing. And I've got quite a bit of cord here. Sorry for the fast movement. And there's the fan that I had mentioned a couple of times that I use that may be getting into my microphone or may not. And then up here, that is the other camera. And you can see it's tilted a little bit. I've knocked it off so many times that the mount needs to be repaired. So it's tilted right now. It's right here. Whoops. Yep, see it doesn't stay in its mount anymore. The plastic where it's mounted has given up, and so it doesn't stay embedded anymore. And then I've got it attached with a clamp mount tripod, which is attached to that piece of wood, which is attached up there someplace. Can't see, it's too dark up there. There we go. So it's attached to another piece of wood via another clamp. So that's kind of the kludge I've got. There is one spotlight I'm using right there. And then there is the light right there, two fluorescent bulbs that's causing the reflection down here. Now, notice you don't see the reflection now because it's a different camera angle. I don't know if I can show you, but the other spotlight is that yellow thing back there. And I've used it about 10 hours and the bulb burned out, so I ordered a new bulb. And then I have lights behind me. There's a set of old projector, not projector, but the old 8mm spotlights. And then there's overhead lights there. And I think that's about it. So obviously I need to do some work on lighting. Stand by while I put everything back. Oh, and there's my microphone that hangs from the ceiling, or actually hangs from this thing I have up above it. Right there. And then it goes over and down to the mixer, which is over there. There's the mixer now, over there in its place. Mixer, keyboard, monitor. Okay, so let me flip this back up. Oh gosh. So I'm trying to improve things here. Let me get this screen out of my way. Let me see what's in the chat room. I got Michael Aquarian, Andy Newton, and anybody else new? I think that's about it. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not professional. It's just kind of thrown together, and I'm slowly improving things. Like got that mixer for Christmas, so that's going to help. And now I got to work on the lighting, of which I had it kind of pretty good, and then things just start breaking. The other fluorescent light I have over there, it won't come on for some reason. I don't know if it's the starter or the ballast or whatever. And it's problem is it's hard to get back down to work on it. Then my spotlight over there that I showed you, the yellow one, the bulb just decided to burn out. It's only got like 10 hours on it. So it's always something. I got my vertical antenna. I gotta quit using my hands. I got my vertical antenna back up in the air. I got a lot of suggestions from my viewers of how to try to keep that vertical up. It's a telescopic fiberglass, 31 feet vertical pole with just a single wire coming down for the antenna. So it's not fancy, and it's not made for what I'm doing, which is leaving it up. It's made to, you know, carry with you, take it in the field, set it up, you know, transmit and receive for a couple hours, and then take it back down, go back home. That's what it's made for, or even do that in your backyard. I installed it and I'm leaving it up. So that's why I'm having problems with keeping it extended, the telescopic pieces extended. And I tried several things. I got some new suggestions of things I have not tried. For instance, using rubber clamps. They're basically clamps that like hose clamps, except they have a rubber insert, so they can give and expand and contract. The ones I used were just all metal, and because the telescopic tubes are tapered, after a couple of days, the thing fell down and collapsed. I've tried tape. Tape doesn't seem to hold up very good in the Florida weather. And I had another suggestion. I can't remember what it was. Something else. I have to go back and look at the comments. Anyway, let's see what's going on in the chat room. Yeah, they are talking about Hemisphere, which I had the trial version, which ran out. And initially, as I recall, Hemisphere was free. And Hemisphere is I think it's like software or an application that you run on your computer, and then you can control either your radio or radios that are on the internet. And I used it about a year or so ago when it was free. Worked pretty cool, but now it's paid. And I think it's a monthly or yearly subscription you have to pay to get access to it. So I don't use it anymore. All right. I think I accomplished what I wanted to do this morning. And that is to see if the dual camera switching on Hangouts will work, and whether I have any delays between the videos getting frozen, or the delay between the video and the audio, or crashing, my computer crashing when I'm trying to do switching back and forth. The only thing I haven't tried, and I'll try that right now, is going to screen share. So let me try that right now. There's no telling what I've got on my screen. That button right there. And let's see what happens. Okay, I've got the picture within a picture within a picture because right now I'm looking at what's being yeah, the phone's ringing. What's being broadcast. So let me change that. So now, oops, it doesn't particularly want to show that. Okay, there we go. So there's my screen where I'm looking at my channel. And now we can go, now, how do I get back? How do I get back to turn that off? Okay, we go down here, we go to Hangouts, and then we turn screen sharing off. Oh, I wasn't showing it to everyone. Another option. Well, let's just show it to everyone for a second. There's what it looks like when I'm on the screen that's showing the screen that I'm broadcasting. You get this mirror effect. And if I go here, then I can share a screen. So that's the other thing that you can do, and I'm going to stop sharing, is you can switch between cameras and you can share what's on your screen with your viewers. And you can do that live, real time, which I can't do if I'm trying to do it locally using the webcam software. So anyway, this was again just a test, and look back at the. Okay, so there's no new chats, and it doesn't. I don't know if it says somewhere how many people are in the chat room. I have 12 viewers right now, I see, which is unbelievable since I didn't announce this. And initially, this was going to be a 2-minute test. And you know me, I babble. So this kind of gives you an idea of my radio room or workshop. You can see my hundreds of cables, and some of my test equipment. I got test equipment and radios all over the place in here. I've got a bunch of what I call 50-pounder radios, old radios that weigh about 50 pounds, which I no longer can move. Don't have the strength. So they sit hidden down in little cubby holes and stuff like that. So anyway, I'm going to stop this broadcast and take a look and see how bad it was. So thanks for watching for the 12 viewers or more, and have a great day. You know, the weather right now in Florida is perfect. I hate to brag, but it's, let's see, let me check my outdoor thermometer here. It's 69 degrees outside, a little overcast because it did rain for the first time in 3 months. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll do some more of these. If you have a subject or a radio or anything that you want me to do on these live shows, which I can get feedback from real time, just let me know. Bye-bye. Gosh, I look awful on screen.